It was just another Monday morning. The school hallway buzzed with chatter, laughter, and the occasional locker slam, the usual chaos. But amidst the noise walked a girl so silent most forgot she was even there. Her name was Alina. She kept her eyes low, books hugged tightly to her chest, her pace fast and deliberate. She wasn't shy by nature, just careful. After years of bouncing between foster homes and switching schools, Lena had learned that staying quiet was the safest way to survive. But safety wasn't guaranteed at Silver Hill High. 3 boys stood near the lockers: Logan, Chad, and Bryce, the unofficial rulers of the school hallways, loud, cocky, and cruel. They fed off attention. They hunted for weakness, and to them, quietness was weakness. When they noticed Alina, they exchanged grins. "Hey, ghost girl," Logan called out, loud enough to turn heads. "Were you hiding from us?" Alina didn't respond. She just kept walking. Wrong move. Within seconds, they were in front of her, blocking her path. Chad snatched her books and held them over her head. "You deaf too?" Bryce taunted. Alina looked up, her eyes calm to calm. Logan stepped closer, grabbed her by the wrist, and sneered, "We're talking to you." What happened next was so fast, even the crowd couldn't process it in real time. Alina's hand twisted, not backward, not sideways, but in a way that made Logan scream. A crack echoed in the hall. She didn't stop there. With a quick spin and shift in her footing, she twisted Chad's arm next, sending him crashing into a locker with a groan. Bryce tried to charge her, but she ducked low, swept his legs out from under him, and he landed flat on his back. The hallway went dead silent. Nobody knew what to say. Teachers rushed in. The principal was called, but the bullies were too busy groaning and clutching their wrists to mock her again. Alina was taken to the office, but she didn't seem scared. Not anymore. She sat there quietly while Principal Harris looked through her file. "You've changed schools 5 times in 3 years, he noted. "And trained in martial arts since you were 7? She nodded. He leaned back, a bit surprised. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" "I wasn't trying to fight," she said softly. "I was just trying to be left alone." The incident spread like wildfire. Some whispered that she was dangerous. Others started watching her with newfound respect. But what nobody saw coming was how her quietness became her power. Over the next few weeks, things began to shift. She started helping kids who were bullied, not with fights, but with words, training, and quiet encouragement. She offered confidence where there was fear. She gave advice to those who thought they had no voice. One afternoon, a younger girl named Santa, often picked on for her speech stutter, came up to her in tears. "They laughed at me again," Alina didn't say anything right away. She just placed a hand on Santa's shoulder and whispered, "Want to learn how to stand tall?" That's how it began. Every day after school, Alina quietly trained a few students behind the gym. Not just in self-defense, but in posture, control, breathing things that made a person feel grounded, strong, present. Word spread. What started with 2 or 3 kids grew into a crowd. Even some teachers came to watch. One day, Principal Harris showed up, arms crossed, watching from a distance. After practice, he approached her. "I see you found your voice, even without words." Alina looked at him and finally smiled. But not everything was easy. Logan returned after a few weeks, with a cast on his arm and vengeance in his heart. The humiliation had stung his pride. One afternoon, he and 2 older boys cornered Alina. Behind the school, cameras off, no crowd in sight. "You think you're a hero now?" he spat. "You think you made us look weak?" Alina didn't flinch. "You made yourselves look weak." Logan's face twisted in rage. He lunged. She didn't fight to hurt this time, just to stop. With smooth, controlled moves, she blocked, disarmed, and diffused. No injuries, no pain. Just silence. The boys stared, breathless, confused. "I don't need to fight you anymore," she said, "but I won't run either." Logan backed off. Not because he lost, but because he knew he already had. Months passed. Alina became a quiet legend at Silver Hill High. Not feared, not famous, but respected. People didn't just admire her strength, they admired her calm. Her quietness had once made her a target. Now it made her a force by the end of the school year. She was offered to start an official self-defense and empowerment club, not just for students, but for the community she accepted. Not because she wanted attention, but because she knew. There were others like her once who were just trying to survive quietly in a loud world. The message? Silence doesn't mean weakness. Stillness doesn't mean surrender. Sometimes the quietest voices carry the deepest strength, because when the world grabs you by the wrist, you don't have to shout. You just have to know how to hold your ground and let go of fear, and that snaps louder than any words ever could.